All right, everyone. Back with the next update. If you remember last time, I had a pretty bad week last update. A lot of time stuck on a state machine and trying to get artificial intelligence to work for the little sword fighters. This week, happy to report that I at least have somewhat of a code base that I'm happy with, that it can somewhat scale, and then the problems that I do have are kind of isolated to sections of the code that allowed me to move on. So tons of progress this week. Let's go through it. So first thing, for fun, I made a more interesting visually background. So you notice when you can buy units now. Let's buy this guy, but the menu pops in, some effects, just going through what a game might have. Once you've bought a unit, you can't click anymore. You click on one flag, it goes away. When you click on another, if you click anywhere, it goes away. Here, they're all going to assist instead of just one guy attacking. The health bars, they go from green to yellow to red based on your health. They're now a component that's subclassed and just it takes care of itself. Here, one guy will attack and other two will team up on another guy. So the rules they should be following is that we always want no one to get through. So if there are three opponents, they should all take one. If there's two, team up on one, fight the other. And you'll start to see some of that here. They're each going to take one of these guys. And then the rest will keep walking through. And then once they kill someone, they'll pick up the closest one to the finish line, or if they're dead, they'll respawn. You see, it doesn't look great, but they keep pulling back the closest to finish. Now, when someone finishes, watch this guy, he'll disappear, and I lose life. And then gold is working also. So, we could buy another soldier here, we could buy some archers here, and wait for the next wave. And then for the next wave, let me just set it up so it's quicker for you. So we've got a formation coming out. So now formations, they have a behavior too. Each individual in the formation has their behavior running, but then the formation has an overriding behavior. So things like, the idea behind formations in this game is that they will hold up my defenders. So once you're engaged, you're permanently engaged with that formation. And you have to keep killing it. So you notice they move to fill in. And then, so the idea of formations is that the wider the formation gets, the more people will get engaged, which means the more skirmishers will pass through. So they're basically a big hold up for the fighters. Formations also take priority over skirmishers, so my defenders have to attack a formation first. They have to fill the front rank, which allows more guys through. So as formations get bigger, it'll be part of the strategy of the game that you want to disrupt them, and there will be tools like the catapults to disrupt them. You see, he went to attack the formation instead while he was letting this guy through, and if instant respawn wasn't on, that guy would have continued on. So that's the idea behind formations. And then archers, they're not, the arrows, I'm not thrilled with them obviously, but the rough template code of arcing an arrow at the speed needed to get there and targeting someone, I put them at a random 1 to 3 millisecond delay so they don't look like they're shooting on the same cycle, stuff like that. When a target gets out of range, they leave it alone and pick a new target. But basically, all of the code is the calling code is all structured the way I want it, and then the actual brains of the characters, I can improve it as time goes on, but I don't have to worry about a huge refactor anymore. It's just a matter of adding more as it seems necessary. So at this point, we basically have a game. There's money. If this gets to 0, it'll say game over. You lose. So my main focus is adding more and more code to make it look like what my final game will need to do. So I have to, environmental things, little rabbits jumping around or whatever. That has to be read in from a plist file and display the rabbits and make them animate. They might even have a behavior state. Catapult unit. It's something you'll actually click on and then click to where to fire. So that'll be player controlled. I have to do that. Upgrading through the flags. So each, normal upgrading. And then most likely in the when this has real art, it'll be upgradable too, and you can put a fence here, and this itself will be a defense. And then the last thing is a player controlled hero. So it's someone that they implement this AI of these guys, but you can click and tell them where to move. And then once all of that's there, I can start to look at where the memory's at, where performance, I know some things right now are being preloaded properly and others aren't. I'm kind of focusing on performance, but not a ton. But once I get all of that basic stuff into place, I can make the code clean, make it perform well, and then start looking for an artist to actually make real features, because I think that'll be the time I feel like everything I need to know how to do for this type of game, I'll understand, and then that's when the real fun will begin. But anyway, next set of 2 weeks will be kind of the stuff I just talked about, getting more of the core features, proof of concept into place. Yeah, sweet. I'll see you next time.